Let's bring in political analyst Jordi Graupera. Very good evening to you, Jordi. So it's back in the news, the Catalan independence movement. 12 leaders are now on trial in Madrid for charges that include rebellion, sedition, misuse of public funds. They do deny the charges. They say that this is all politically motivated. What's your opinion?
Well, it's clearly politically motivated. Of course, these two crimes they're accused of, sedition and rebellion, have nothing to do with what happened in October 2017. Recall that these two crimes involve the use of violence to attain political goals. This never happened in Catalonia. Everyone saw it on TV. The only violence came from the failed attempt of the Spanish state to stop people from voting. The news of that day were not that the police were beating the people, nor that the people were beating the police, but that the police voted nevertheless. So this is just an act of revenge from the Spanish state because they lost control of a situation. Because of course, in contemporary Europe, if a people want to exercise their right to self-determination, nothing can stop it, and that's what happened.
If some or all of the 12 are convicted and sentenced, let's say they're in prison, what kind of reaction do you think this could provoke?
Well, it's difficult to know. Everything seems to suggest that they will be sentenced because the sentence is being written before the trial began. The trial is just an act of justification and a travesty of justice. If today's demonstrations are an indication of anything, is that people will demonstrate. But we all know that demonstrations are useless in themselves. Demonstrations must become something political. Political leaders in Catalonia must go beyond what they did in October 17 because they expected the Spanish state to sit down in a table of negotiation and dialogue. This never happened and was never going to happen. So if the Catalan people wants to mature into a more effective way of attaining their goals, they should move on from demonstrations and build upon them a political strategy that can lead them to emancipation.
Now, Thursday's rally included a general strike. There were unions of pro-independence workers and students who were calling for a 35-hour week, higher minimum wage involved. Is this now what we're seeing, the people on the streets, is it less about independence? Are people kind of maybe moving away from that, thinking it's unrealistic? Do they just want a better standard of life now?
Well, every time that there's a demonstration or a strike, everyone tries to align the central claim of the demonstration or the strike to different issues. That's normal. But today's demonstrations were against a trial that is clearly fake. It's a fake trial, and in favor of something. And that something is independence. Independence is not only a way to regain dignity and political control over one's lives. Independence is always also a way to find a better life. And I think that the syndicates that we all know that they defend workers' rights are trying to tell us that independence is a way to attain some of the rights that the Spanish state denies them. But for sure, other people were just demonstrating, were doing strike just because they want the right to self-determination. They want independence. And that was pretty clear on the streets today.
We've been hearing the thoughts of political analyst Jordi Graupera. Many thanks, Jordi.
Thank you very much for having me.